Hello, this is a House Talk with Diana. I'm Diana, and this is Roland Adams with Rebate House. And we're here with you today. We just got finished with a wonderful event that Larry Hermits, he's the Comal County Tax Appraiser Liaison for the Appraisal District. It was so informative. And and this guy here, he really is, he's a good realtor with a lot of knowledge about the taxes. So I was so impressed with the questions that he had that I thought, you got to be on my vlog. So
well, thanks.
One of the things that really stood out to me, as you just said, I was eavesdropping. I was listening to you talk about how New Braunfels, how it's different with the homestead versus was Austin or San Antonio.
Yeah, we actually offer one. A lot of cities, people don't know this, but a lot of cities don't offer a homestead exemption. Well,
back up.
Wait, yeah, I was going to, okay.
For people who don't know.
So a homestead exemption is something that the state of Texas offers where there's a whole lot of protections that come with it. But generally, what you're saying that this property is your primary residence, okay? Like this is our homestead, okay? So we are a homestead state, which is great. And what that means is not only with filing for homestead does it protect your property from seizure and things like that. At surface level, what most people understand about homestead exemption is what they actually do is they will exempt, a homestead exemption will exempt a percentage of your property's value from taxation, okay? So it just depends on what the taxing unit offers.
So instead of paying on the whole amount, like say I have a $500,000 house, I'm only paying, or the value I'm only paying on, say, 350 of it. Or something like that?
Yes, it just depends on what the taxing unit offers. I think people can generally understand a discount.
Yeah.
You know, they can understand a discount, but
you get a discount on your taxes if you file your homestead exemption.
Specific taxes.
Specific tax.
Because now, not all taxing jurisdictions are the same, and not all taxing units are the same. And what I mean by taxing units, it would be City of New Braunfels, Comal County, Comal ISD, and Comal, the lateral roads and flood control for Comal County. Those individual taxes are called your taxing units, okay? And those taxing units function independently. And what I mean by that is the taxes collected, assessed, as well as the exemptions are not the same for the county or for the ISD or for the lateral roads and flood control or anything else. They are all independently assessed, okay? So for instance, you're here in a neighborhood that actually is not in the city.
Just outside the city.
Just outside the city, ETJ area. This is in the county, okay? Which is great because then you don't have those city taxes that you're paying.
That's our tax rate here at the, I'm selling houses in the Overlook at Creekside in New Braunfels.
Love this neighborhood.
And our tax rate is 1.77 and just our 2.6 this way?
No.
Am I wrong? Oh,
yeah.
My bad.
So
2.2?
this is an advantage.
Still, this is a lot better.
This is a huge advantage for the area that we live, or just the New Braunfels area in general. I mean, most of the tax rates here in New Braunfels are going to be somewhere around like a 2.2.
So hold
on. Unless they have a MUD, which we're getting into a whole nother gambit of issues that I mean, it's a whole nother tangent that we could talk about. A MUD, unless it has some sort of additional special taxing district, which would be like a MUD or a PID or emergency services or whatever it is. Those actually add to the, there is like one neighborhood, for example, like Meyer Ranch, okay? Meyer Ranch has a MUD, which basically, it's a municipality unimproved district or improvement district, where the city of New Braunfels actually went in and added infrastructure to the neighborhood, but they had to create a special taxing district to help pay for that infrastructure and help pay for the maintenance of that infrastructure. That adds to the actual tax rate itself, because Meyer Ranch isn't even in the city of New Braunfels, and yet their tax rate over there is a 2.74.
Oh, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so
that's a big difference in your monthly payment if you're paying it over a year of almost double.
We're talking about percentages here. So like whenever your home value raises, and you raise a percentage of what that value is, when that increases, that your bill's going to increase. It's a big difference. And so
right.
So like one of the things, I had some clients that were looking at buying over here in the Overlook Creek side, and they were also looking at buying a home, similar price point in a neighborhood that the tax rate was actually a 2.17 in that neighborhood. And this is, I'm highly educated on this, so I get extremely specific. I will never say like, oh, the tax rate over here is this, that, and the other. I'm like,
yeah.
I got to look up the address first.
We'll see, but ours here is Overlook. It's excellent, 1.77. I mean, that can make a big difference in someone's
That's
payment.
right. I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you. So it was nuts because the difference was almost like $200 a month. I mean, it was over $100 a month.
Yeah.
As far as the difference of payment for the exact same priced house.
Right. So people that are on fixed income, like elderly people, or
that's huge.
First time home buyers, maybe that $200 a month is the big difference.
Well, this is the way I look at it. I look at it in terms of buying power.
Yeah.
So I basically told them, I said, hey, look, based off of, if you're okay with this payment here, based off of that, over there at the Overlook Creek side, you could actually probably afford closer to, $475, and still have the exact same payment.
Right.
So just because of the taxes, the property taxes. So, I mean, that's $25,000. I mean, that's how much it equates to. It's about 20,
That's a lot of money, yeah.
25, you could afford, just because of the tax rate here, the property tax rate, you could afford $25,000 more on a home.
Yeah.
Just because of the tax rate.
The lower tax rate.
And the same payment. It's the exact same payment.
Right. And you get the advantage of the homestead exemption we're able to do here, which you can't do in, say,
and Garden Ridge.
Like for Garden Ridge, you can't. What are the areas you can't do it? Tell me that again.
Well, I mean, it's variable. I mean,
this I did not know.
So,
I'm tax ignorant.
Okay, so
but I'm learning. Okay.
For those of you who are looking to live in the city of Garden Ridge or the city of Spring Branch, or maybe live there, big surprise to y'all. They don't offer a homestead exemption. The city of
See, I thought that was a Texas thing. I really did.
The city of Shirts does not offer a homestead exemption.
Wow.
I mean, and when I'm talking about the city of Shirts, yes, I know for those that live in Shirts, you're saying, but I've got homestead exemption. Yes, you have homestead exemption, but not for the individual taxing unit, which is called the city of Shirts taxes. Okay. There is no homestead exemption.
So a part of it is, not all of it.
Part of the taxing jurisdiction.
Yes.
But that individual taxing unit. So now let me tell you what that means though. Okay. So for example, the city of New Braunfels, they actually have the highest homestead exemption that's available in the state of Texas for the state of New Braunfels. But for example, their taxes are right around 0.5%. So like whatever the value of your home is, we could use the number like 500,000, which you're talking about. They calculate 0.5% of that value. And that is what your annual tax bill is for the city of New Braunfels. Now, for the city of New Braunfels, they offer a homestead exemption, which takes off 20% of your value of your home, which for a $500,000 house takes off $100,000. So instead of paying 0.5% on $500,000, you're paying 0.5% on $400,000.
Yeah.
So you're saving that $100,000 worth of taxable value is being exempted from taxes. Okay, that's why it's called the tax exemption, because that portion is being exempted from taxes. Now, if your home went up, let's just say your home went up in value, which a lot of them have.
Everyone's did.
I mean,
this
look,
past year.
the average home has increased over the from last year to this year about 25%.
Yeah, what they were saying 2% a month. Is that what?
2.5% a month is what we're averaging. So, what if you're in the city of Shirts, for example, and we're talking about 0.5%, but some of them are a little bit higher. They might have a higher tax rate. But if you're living in the city of Shirts and your home went up in value, as far as the appraisal district website, if your home went up in value by, let's say, by 25%, I mean, we're talking about like over 150,000, like almost 200,000. Guess what? If you live in the city of Shirts, so even if you have homestead exemption, the taxes that you're going to be paying for the city of Shirts went up too, and you can't stop it.
Wow.
You can't stop it. If you lived in Garden Ridge, it is what it is.
So this is probably a big reason, one of the big reasons, that New Braunfels, this area, just especially the Overlook, how it's boomed so much. We've had unprecedented sales in Comal County out here. Probably some of it's because of the tax rate.
I know it's because of tax rate. Yeah. And I firmly believe if people were more educated on it, there'd be even more people moving here.
Right.
I mean, honestly, why did you have this class, and why are you and I talking about this right now? Is because the information is what it's not out. It's out there, but nobody knows how to. I say this. They have the Texas comptrollers, the county, all the information that you need to educate yourself and to be knowledgeable on taxes and tax in your area's tax rate and so on and so forth. All of that stuff is online. It's easily accessible.
But it's not that necessarily easy to understand.
It is, if you just take the time to learn it.
Well,
but believe me, this is not rocket science. It's not.
No, it can be a little complicated for someone who's not as well versed as you are.
No, so that's what I'm saying. You just have to get educated.
That's why if you're going to buy a house, you need a good realtor.
Exactly.
that really knows this stuff.
But this is they don't have an information problem. They've got the information there. What
a dissemination problem. So anyway, I just wanted, this guy is a good realtor. He'd be a great realtor to have in your corner. He really knows the area. Where's your area of concentration? Is it mostly? Where do you sell mostly?
New Braunfels.
Mostly New Braunfels.
Yeah. Well, I'm born and raised here. My family were I come from the founding families of New Braunfels.
Oh. Ooh.
And so it's.
Oh no, founding fathers. That always sounds so ominous.
They were orphans. They were orphans. I come from the orphans, not from the fathers.
No, the orphans. Okay.
So yeah.
Interesting though.
Yeah. So when the Germans came over. From Germany.
Well, not everybody knows New Braunfels is German, but
we're Germantown. So when they pilgrimage over here from Germany, there were a lot of people that died on the ship. A lot of. And so, usually it was due to like scurvy and typhoid fever and that kind of stuff. Whenever that happened, you had a lot of parents that died and they left kids. And they had orphans. So there's a lot of when this is typical for pilgrimages in the first place. So when they got here and they settled here in New Braunfels, there was a lot of orphans. And so I come from one of the orphans.
Oh, I heard about about that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of a big thing. It's in there's a book. I
Yeah.
saw it downtown. Anyway, I've been living in. I'm from this area also, but 20 miles south.
Oh.
So more Live Oak.
Oh yeah, the one that does not offer homestead exemption, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what was our takeaway from our little tax class? Look, I think we've chased 1,000 rabbits, but the takeaway is you better file for your homestead exemption.
Huge. Well, not just your homestead exemption. File for every exemption you qualify for. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're a disabled vet and you are and you have a disabled you have a rating of 10% or greater, file for that. It's not huge. It's not a big amount.
But it all adds up.
It all adds up though. And then of course if you're 100%, you don't pay taxes. So if you're 100% disabled veteran, you do not pay any property taxes. Now the other one would be your over 65 exemptions. Those are great. Make sure you take advantage of that. And just for those who, if you have not filed for your homestead exemption, you've got 2 years that you could actually retroactively file for your homestead exemption. So don't think like, oh, I waited too long, I'm not going to do it. And just do it. Just do it. Make it. Just apply for it. Do it as early and often as you can. For the over 65 exemption, and just so you know, you can apply for the over 65 exemption as soon, like you don't have to wait for your birthday. You can do, if you're going to be turning 65 for that calendar year, you can apply for homestead exemption for that entire year because you qualify for that entire year. It's fine. Fill out the paperwork. Get it done early if you want to. If you got a birthday in June, but it's January and you want to go ahead and file for your over 65 exemption, go ahead and do it. It's going to apply for that entire calendar year. And then the other ones were as far as other exemptions go. Those are the main ones. Okay. Thank you.
Somebody needed to win it.
Okay. Well, the other exemptions, there's not a whole lot of other ones. Those would kind of be a little bit more like specialty exemptions.
Yeah. But it's important.
I don't like to delve into those because those are very, very specific. But the main ones are going to be your general homestead exemption, your over 65 exemption, and your disabled veteran exemption. For other resources, look, the Texas Comptroller's website. They publish the workbooks. They're downloadable PDFs, printable PDFs. You can save them, and then go to your county appraisal website and just scour the whole thing. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
I download things like this is what's called an exemption schedule. So if you wanna understand like what Comal County or Guadalupe County or Bexar County or whatever county you're in, if you want to understand what their exemption schedule is. Here you go, right here. This actually shows you it has a breakdown of all the different taxing units, and you just would have to circle the ones that apply to that taxing jurisdiction, and then you can see what the exemptions are here. Now the tax rate is completely separate, and that's something that I actually there's another one. Okay, a homestead exemption does not affect the tax rate. If I have somebody that I'm working with that decides like we're really interested in buying a home in Austin or in the Austin area, I'll be like, okay, let me educate you about their taxes real quick, which are so high, and then
they're high. They're higher.
Yeah,
much higher.
Like Willie Nelson high. No, I'm just kidding. But then it's true though. But
didn't he in jail? Didn't he go to jail for tax evasion?
Probably.
I think he did. Yeah, it was a thing.
Well,
a while back. Well, anyway, it was a good talk. Thanks for popping in again. And I think I said that already, but we chased another rabbit.
We did. You're gonna chop and screw this thing up anyways, and put this thing together in a much. You got a lot of content.
I'll do my best.
You got good content.
But anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank
Bye.
you.